Good evening, everyone. Warm welcome to Emertxe's monthly course demo webinar. My name is Jayakumar. I'm part of Emertxe's leadership team. And myself and my colleague Mubeen, we host this webinar on a monthly basis, primarily to have a medium to interact with potential embedded system aspirants who have either already inquired for our course or you are interested in our course by interfacing with some way or other. So the idea of this particular session is twofold. One is to give you a high-level overview of what is happening in the embedded, or rather devices industry, semiconductor devices industry, where the embedded systems has got to play a major role. We will get to know what is happening there, how the job market is moving and stuff like that. And definitely we take a look into that, how the course is going to get delivered. That's the second part. For example, when you are planning, especially trying to take up an online course, how the course is structured, how the labs are being planned, and how the doubt clearing happens, etc. We'll come to know. And also we can discuss about the differences between the online and offline courses. We'll also touch upon that. And again, as a third part, we'll come back again and talk about the placements, how the placement as a process works, when the placement placement process will begin, and how you can start applying for that and stuff like that, right? So basically three portions. The first portion will be covered by me, basically introduction and the industry level, job level updates. The course portion could be covered by my colleague Mubeen. He should be joining anytime soon. And again, the third portion, the placement process point of view, again, I will come and cover. So that's kind of a three section that we have. And I would like to keep this session as interactive as possible. So please feel to ask as many questions as you can, so that, because for me, pretty much the content and the presentation of the thing, very much remains the same, except for a few placement data here and there, right? So your question and answers, doing the discussions with you is what makes the session very, very interesting. So don't hold on with any questions. Big question, important question, doesn't matter. Any question that comes into your mind, please go ahead and type it in the chat window. I'll be glad to answer them. So that way, looking forward to have an interactive session with all of you. Okay. So with that note, let me share my screen and then get started with the presentation. Yeah, you can see here. All right. So welcome once again, all of you, to the course demo and placement journey. We are hosting this webinar on 21st of March. So many of you would already know about Emertxe, but still let me briefly introduce to all of you. We are about a 20-plus-year-old edtech company based in Bangalore. At a high level, as an organization, we are aspiring to solve two challenges. One is on the employability side, where we train entry-level engineers, who are doing their engineering degree, but they do not have the right set of skills to get into a job. We take them, we train them in a hands-on manner, to enable them to get into the jobs, mainly in the embedded systems, IoT, or in the full-stack development jobs. And in the similar lines, we also work with working professionals who are actually interested in transitioning into the, from the existing job into this core job. We need to do a transition for them. And also we work with corporate organizations for their learning and development or skill development programs, so that organizations, they continue to upskill their employees and stay competitive in the, in the market. That's what we do. Any education program that we do it in a hands-on manner. The diagram that's there, you can see a hand making a pot. Pretty much summarizes our teaching or the the training philosophy, because when you want to make a pot, you need to make your hands dirty and probably you do a bunch of mistakes, then only the pot will come out. The same approach we take with all of our education programs, so that the learner don't need to memorize things. When you look back why the engineering education has gone the way how it is mainly because it has pretty much become memory based, rather than, whereas the engineering is all about practical and hands-on aspect, right? So that's the reason why we make our education programs hands-on, so that the learner remains engaged throughout that program. Okay. That's a brief about our organization. And coming to our leadership team, three of us are part of leadership team. Mr. Maz, who is the founder and the managing director of the organization, and he primarily heads the organization, looks into the business side of the things. And myself, Jayakumar, so primarily my responsibility is in the area of delivery, where my team involved in ensuring that all the training programs, the embedded and IoT training programs, are delivered as per our schedule and quality standards, and also work with various placement companies and ensure that students are getting opportunities and and then they appear for the placements. And we also have a team called Student Success Team who works with the students to ensure that they conduct various soft skill training programs to stay the students motivated. Right? So that's about me, what the role I do in Emertxe. So before that, I spent about 12 years. It's been 12 years in Emertxe, and before that, I spent about 12.5 years in 3 organizations. To start with, I started my career with a startup called Ishoni Networks, where I spent about 2 years. Followed by that, I had a pretty long stint with HP, Hewlett Packard, about 7.5 years. And after that, I joined Huawei, where I spent about 3.5 years. So initial 12.5 years, I was with 3 different corporate organizations. Followed by that, I spent Emertxe almost like 12 years now. So that's overall, I have a career experience about 24 years. So that's what my career summary is all about. So Mubeen is our technology head, who predominantly is our CTO and who looks into mainly the new technology programs, and also ensuring that whatever the program that we are delivering, right, students in terms of the technical quality, technical content, student preparation aspects, right, to ensure that whatever we do, it's very much relevant with what the industry is asking, and also working on launching the new training programs. Right? So that's what Mubeen's technology portfolio mainly. That's what he holds on. So Mubeen, are you there? Did you join? Let me quickly check. It looks like maybe a few minutes you will be joining. We'll proceed. Let me just check. All right, he just messaged me joining soon. No issues. We can just proceed. Once probably he comes in, we can ask him to introduce. We can take introduction of Mubeen, right? So coming to one of the main things that over the years we built up is a strong placement network. You can see some of the logos here. We work with 4 bucket of companies. One bucket of the companies is MNCs, or multinational corporations, who have their branches in Bangalore, but are India, and then they have the headquarters located somewhere outside. They do their R&D or global capacity center, like Microchip, Qualcomm, Infineon, National Instrument, LG. They all belong to that category. And we also have India-based companies, headquartered companies, who are doing a lot of work in the embedded. For example, various Tata groups, like Tata Technologies, Tata Elxsi, Tata Advanced Systems, Tech Mahindra, Mahindra Electric, right? These type of organizations who are doing the indigenous work from India. And we also work with a lot of mid-size and startup companies who are involved in various aspects of product development of the embedded systems and semiconductor industry. Okay, this is a snapshot of logos. Again, this is like quite a vast one, right? We don't want to go through it every time. And definitely, if you look at our website or in social media, our team keeps the placement data updated, and you can see the latest information from our website. Okay, and yeah, so I think Mubeen is here. Mubeen, are you there? I could see him joining.
Yes, Jay, I have joined.
Yeah, Mubeen, I just was waiting for introduction. I'll just go off the video. You can introduce to our audience today. Go ahead, Mubeen. Please introduce yourself. Yeah.
So good evening, all. This is Mubeen here. I work as a technology head at Emertxe, and welcome to this course demo webinar. So I'll just brief about myself. I completed my graduation 20 years back as a computer science graduate. Since then, I have worked in multiple companies, including Emertxe and Novel and HP. So primarily, I started my career as a software development engineer, wherein I got opportunity to work on different technology areas and domains, including device driver development, embedded systems application development, and EDA software development, and so on. And I was fortunate enough to work in Novel, which is a company you might have heard about, which used to specialize in developing a network-based operating systems as well as SUSE. So I was one of the software developers contributing to the SUSE Linux platform. And post that, I got opportunity to work in HP, wherein I worked for almost 4+ years. In HP, I was part of 2 teams. One is one team was specializing in document workflow management software. So there I worked as a software developer closer to 3.5 years. Then I moved to another team which was developing HP Linux Spring Fax device drivers. I was one of the lead engineers there as well. And after working in HP for quite a long time, then I joined Emertxe as a full-time like a member of the team, core team. So here in Emertxe, it's been closer to 15 years. I'm working as a technology head. Primarily, I used to manage the technical team here who delivers the training in embedded systems, IoT, full stack web application development, Qt, Yocto, etc., and so on. So I'll be happy to address your queries with respect to the courses we deliver. I will brief about the course pedagogy which we follow here. Followed by that, we'll run through a quick demo of how the actual classes are taken in the online mode. And if any questions related to the course, feel free to ask. We'll be happy to answer your queries. So I'll hand over to Jay, who will take you through the session, and in between I'll also pitch in so that we can have a clear idea about how the courses are delivered in Emertxe and how we are going to benefit. So Jay, over to you. Please proceed.
Thanks, Mubeen. Guys, is it audio video looks okay? If there's any network issue, can you just are able to hear? Maybe I'll keep the video off for some time. Looks like there is some jitteriness in the network here. We'll only do audio for some time, then we'll come back to video time to time. Okay. All right. So let me share the screen. So let us discuss about what exactly happening in the job market. When you say job market, we primarily talk about the we talk about the embedded systems industry. So let me. Okay. So this the target job that we are talking about. We are primarily talking about the semiconductor and the devices sector. Semiconductor are the companies which predominantly manufacture the silicon or the chipset that companies eventually use to build devices. That devices could be a mobile device, router or a switch, or a smart watch, or it could be anything like that. So this is the primary industry which consumes our embedded system students, right? Our students who are trained in the embedded skill. And if you look at it in a broader sense, this overall industry is expected to grow quite well. In the last 5 years, it has grown around 9.8%. Now it is expected to grow around 20% and generate around 3 lakhs jobs in this particular industry. And also, you might have heard about India semiconductor story and how India is for the semiconductors. And by doing that, primarily both the hardware and the software can be done from India. And that we can ship the entire product development happening here. And this is actually offering a very much attractive and the long-term career possibilities for embedded systems aspirants like you. Okay? And even if you look at the jobs inside the embedded devices and the semiconductor, largely, if you see 65% of the jobs are coming from the embedded software side. So when you say embedded software side, it is assumed that the device, the semiconductor company which creates the chipset and the reference board or the actual customized board is available, and the embedded system software engineers write the customized software that actually can get into this particular board, right? So the VLSI engineers who contribute to 35% of the overall design jobs, and 65% still continue to be the embedded software engineers as of last year. And in the next couple of years, the embedded system software jobs are expected to even in the rise, with around 70% of them will be coming from that particular direction. In the similar lines, we also see that we see that AI and ML, which is actually touching every domain, is also touching the semiconductor and devices industry, where the AI coming in, it is only enhanced the possibilities of how the embedded system industry or the semiconductor and devices industry is shaping up. So many of you would have heard about companies like NVIDIA. We're doing a lot of work in edge computing and things like that, which is a amalgamation of the existing semiconductor and devices with the AI coming into picture. So that way, the AI jobs are on the rise. Around 5% of them will be occupied by that. But having said that, there is always a query saying that will this particular AI coming in, will it take away our jobs and things like that? Yes, AI is bringing a lot of automation, because of which it is taking away jobs. But if you remember, or if you take a closer look, these jobs are largely, the monotonous jobs, right? Where it can be done by any manual person, right, or any other in a repeated map. But if you take a look into relatively a high end, which involves a lot of human intelligence, the job which we are into, embedded systems, or even for that matter, VLSI, still definitely we don't see much challenge here. So rather, I would say an A and ML coming in only enhances the job possibility. Okay? So that's about the overall how the industry is poised. Okay? And these are some of the media news you might have seen probably 6 months back, 7 months back, where the sector is expected to generate around 3 lakhs employment, right? And moving it down, you may be wondering, like, okay, fine, this all looks like a media information. What is happening at the Emertxe level? So in Emertxe, ever since our inception, we have been transparent with our placement data. Whatever the companies are coming, our data is pretty much available in the open forum, with our website and social media, where you can see much more granular information. In similar lines, every monthly webinars, what we host, we share this information, whatever is there in the screen now. So if you look at this particular screen, if you look at in the 2024 and 25, 24 it was quite a challenging year, even though it started well with 102 companies, but later point in time, definitely due to the economic slowdown and the recession, the companies started relatively coming down, and we start doing around 50 to 60 companies per month. So that still holds even today. We are kind of in the third week of March. You see in the January we had 55 companies, and in February we had 63 companies, and in the March so far we have 38 companies coming in participating in Emertxe placements, right? So having said that, there are a lot of good news is also happening, as we saw in the previous slide. The overall the sector is looking bullish, and also the companies which are recruiting from us, they are hiring for a long-term projects. So that means to say, even though recession is there, even the economic slowdown is there, we cannot just run away from that. But having said that, these companies continue to hire because they have long-term project plans, like say 3 to 5 year kind of horizon, which still requires good quality embedded engineers. On the contrary, these companies hiring embedded engineers from the market is becoming all the more challenging, especially directly from the campus. Due to various reasons, they're not able to hire quality embedded system engineers. So that's the reason they more believe in institutions like us who continue to supply quality engineers. Right? On other angle to this particular slide is that even let's say, for example, the 38 companies come in March, or the 63 companies that has come in February, they still have more openings than what we can fulfill. For example, if a company has got 10 openings, through Emertxe, we are probably able to fill up, let's say, 5 openings or 6 openings. So that also talks about the missed opportunities that we have, which we can definitely leverage and grow better. Okay? This is what the placement graphs and trends show. And adding a couple of more points into it, when you take a closer look into these companies, in that I would say around 55 to 60% of the companies are hiring for students who are from any year of pass out or any percentage. Right? So they don't care much about your year of pass out or your academic credentials, because they mainly bother about skills. So as long as you're able to bring skills into the table, definitely these companies are more than willing to recruit you. So the skill building is going to be the key. Okay? So this is a quick update on the placement thing, and we also having loads of success stories. Let me just quickly show you guys our Instagram page itself. Let me see. Second. Yeah, the page is open now. Let me open up our Instagram page itself. So if you look at these, our Instagram pages, you can see the type of companies which have been recruiting our students who are all getting selected. For example, recently we had, very good success stories with our premium recruitment company, Qualcomm, where we had 2 students. One is like, a student from without any experience, or a fresher, Sahel. He got into Qualcomm with 22.2 LPA salary. And there's also working professional, because as I said in the beginning, we also have working professionals who take up our course and achieve career transition here. So these students also basically, for example, he was working in Infosys, but by taking our course, he was able to get a career transition into Qualcomm. Okay? So these companies are recruiting quite well, and you can see lots of similar success stories happening here, right? In terms of companies, for example, here you can see companies like Altera, which is a Intel company, right? Where they hired students Raghu for 6.6 LPA, and then we have Sohan, and you can also see Sohan here. Basically, he's from an older era pass out. He's a 2019 pass out. He attended our course and got selected the company called Carnex for 4 LPA salary. Then we have Mohammed Yunus from Bagalkot, and he got selected with Harman. And similarly, we have Srinivasalu from Tirupati, got selected in basically Seven Hills Technology. And similarly, we have Anushree Mohan, again, she's from a 2021 pass out, getting selected with Carnex, right? More Harmans, right? And more similar companies here, right? So these are all people, if you see, they are either freshers or they are from relatively older batch pass outs, right? And slightly, if you go back, we also have students who are achieving a career transition. When you say career transition, they were working in a particular, particular industry, but they kind of move to another industry. In the beginning, if you see, right, basically, Krishna achieve a career transition. So this is more of a freshers or a reasonably, junior folks. But similarly, you can see it's filled with.
Jayakumar, looks like we lost the audio. You're not audible.
We have Bengali. Right? It probably is loading a little slowly. You can take a look, right? So like that, every other month we have, data gets updated, as you see, right? Pretty much all the data I'm showing from our open, social media. You can also go and check about that. So all I'm saying is, like, definitely the industry, the current market looks challenging, but as I said, there are a lot of positive news. Overall, the market is looking bullish for our industry. I may not be able to comment on any other industry where we don't cater to, and companies still are finding hard to hire engineers, and by skilling themselves. We saw various success stories there. Somebody getting in a very premium company, both a fresher guy and also working professional, and also many of them are able to achieve a career transition. So these are some of the recent success stories which I would like to show. Okay, so is it clear to all of you? Are you able to hear me? See, some of you are telling not audible. Am I audible to all of you guys? Can you just confirm once? Yeah, Akash is asking, is this course only for freshers? Not necessarily. As I said, course is largely taken by two audience. One is a fresher who are out of college or don't have any experience, or students who have got some career break and things like that. Right? So other set of audience, showed you an example, right? A working professional primarily take our courses to achieve something called as skill transition. Okay, all right. I think it's audible. I think there's some temporary voice issue there. So with that note, I would like to pause here and request Mubeen to take over and explain the course details to our students or participants of webinar today. Mubeen, can you please take over from here?
Sure, yeah. Maybe I'll also go off my video because it looks like there is some lag.
Yeah.
Right. Let me share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible? Can you confirm?
Yes, Mubeen, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So what I will do is I'll brief you about what course we deliver. Primarily, today's webinar is about embedded systems. We have two courses. One is embedded systems and IoT. Both options are available. So let me first explain what we are going to cover in the embedded system syllabus. Right. So if you look at embedded systems, primarily the question comes like, are we going to learn about hardware or are we going to learn about software? So we are going to focus on embedded software development side, wherein the hardware design is not included, but the software interfacing part, which will be covered in the microcontroller module. So just to set the expectations right. So if you want to learn about embedded systems, there are some fundamental concepts which you have to be familiar with before we dive into the core of the embedded systems. We start with Linux. I'm sure all of you heard about Linux. So Linux is a very versatile operating system, which can be used not only for end users for using it as a desktop application. It is also used by developers as well as embedded systems engineers to build embedded software. So becoming familiar with Linux is important. So we teach you to Linux basics in the beginning of the course. Following that, we'll teach C programming, right? So I'm sure you might have already studied C in college. I would have used C programming to build some of the applications in your final year project, etc. So C programming is essential for any embedded system developer to build embedded applications based off microcontrollers. So we cover C extensively, right from the basics to advanced concepts, right? So please don't think that we are only going to cover the advanced topics. Right from scratch, right? Like basics, C will be covered. And you'll also learn about advanced concepts of C, followed by problem solving also. After C, you move on to the other modules like C++, which is an extension of C, wherein we cover about object-oriented programming concepts, right? So nowadays there is a trend wherein people are moving from C programming to C++ programming. Then because of the advancements in the hardware, right? So hardware has become more powerful and it's available in embedded systems. C++ programming is also essential for embedded system engineers nowadays, right? So we cover these two programming languages. Following that, we teach data structures. So data structures is essential to build complex applications as well as to design applications seamlessly, right? So we'll teach concepts like stacks, queues, linked lists, trees, etc., which is essential for you to learn to develop better applications. And whatever we teach is going to help you in basically clearing the interviews as well, right? So followed by data structures, we jump on to microcontroller programming, which you can call it as embedded software programming. Also, here is where the core embedded system concepts are taught here. So we teach microcontroller programming using PIC microcontroller, wherein you learn about architecture, peripheral interfacing, input-output interfacing, various protocols, and so on. So please note, all these basically modules will be taught practically using practical examples with assignments, templates, and projects, which will help you to learn things practically, not just theoretically. So microcontrollers will be taught on a real board in case of offline mode, whereas in case of online mode, we are going to teach microcontrollers on a simulator, which I'll be sharing a demo quickly. So online, also we can take up the microcontroller module without facing any challenges, and these software has been tested for many years together, and we didn't face any challenge in terms of teaching microcontrollers or students building projects using microcontrollers in the online mode. Following that, we cover Linux internals, so which wherein we focus on operating systems internals, right? So OS operating system concepts are also important to build embedded applications. And going forward, let's say you want to deep dive into like driver development, etc. This becomes a foundation for that, for those topics as well. So we'll extensively cover topics like process management, memory management, multi-threading, multiprocessing, IPC, and so on, right? Networking concepts also covered. The last module is embedded Linux and ARM, wherein we'll teach you about the booting concepts in Linux and different software which are involved to build the Linux kernel as well as file system, etc. is covered here, which is one of the last modules as part of the course. So these are the topics which we cover extensively in the entire course, and this is what is required to become an embedded software engineer. In the IoT course, there are some changes, like we cover topics like Arduino, IoT cloud, and IoT gateway, IoT protocols, etc., which will be covered in the IoT module, which is a separate course in itself. Now, in terms of our course pedagogy, what we do so that you learn effectively and you're eventually able to get a job in core companies. This is a snapshot of what we do as part of the course. So to begin with, on a daily basis, right, you'll have to attend class and lab. So in the class, mentor will discuss about the concepts in a practical way. You'll get an opportunity to like practice whatever you learned theoretically using your laptop, and you'll be able to submit those programs as well. And in the lab sessions, we focus on assignments and projects, right? So assignments are generally lesser complex, and which helps you to like apply whatever you learned in the class sessions. These are maybe small programs, 50, 100 lines of code you'll be writing maximum. Whereas projects are much more advanced. So we will guide you in completing your projects for every module, like modules like C, data structures, microcontrollers, Linux internals will have 2 projects each, which mentors will guide you, and you'll be able to complete those projects as part of the course. This will help you to build a very strong portfolio, because when you apply for companies shortlist you based upon the projects which you have completed. It's not based upon the marks which you got in your academics. It's mostly based upon your projects and the skill set what you have. Similarly, in terms of evaluation, there will be evaluation for the subjects which you complete. Objective test, programming test, etc. will be conducted, and this will help you to like judge yourself as well as prepare for the interviews. So in terms of support, right, mentors will be available to you. You can ask questions through WhatsApp channel and discussion forums. Apart from asking questions in the class and lab, you can clarify your doubts during non-class and lab hours as well, right? So mentors will be ready to help you resolve your doubts, right? So this is important because what we feel is that many times students are stuck somewhere, they're not able to complete some assignment, or they need help in the project, or understanding level is not very clear. You can always feel free to reach our mentors during the class or after the class as well. So apart from basically focusing on the subjects, we also wanted to ensure that you are ready for placements or job, right? And when you talk about job, we help you prepare for the interviews by conducting mock interviews. So these are conducted by our mentors, wherein you get opportunity to showcase your skills and also help build your confidence in attending interviews, right? So often some people are nervous. They tend to basically not feel confident when they face another person. So these type of mock interviews will help you to basically gain confidence, so that before you apply for companies, you are ready, right? So we wanted to help you that by giving the feedback, etc. Similarly, we have other training programs including soft skills, etc., which also is delivered as part of the course. So we also have a huge database of company-specific questions, right? So since we are conducting multiple tries, we have like database of hundreds of interview questions which have been collected over the last few years, right? So these questions will help you to just quickly brush up, even though we're covering those concepts in the course, will help you to quickly brush up and get prepared for the interviews as you start applying for it, right? And we have a dedicated placement team who will closely work with you. So this placement team is responsible for like bringing in companies, coordinating with the students who are attending the interviews, facilitating them to basically prepare well for the interviews and so on. So we have a dedicated placement team who will guide you from end to end in terms of basically placement application till you get a job, right? So moreover, we also felt that students need not just technical guidance, they need motivation and some additional guidance in terms of how they can like groom themselves, right? So we have a dedicated student success team who will coach you, will interact with you on a regular basis, giving you inputs as to what is required to become successful as part of this journey, right? So student success team will interact with you on a regular basis, right? They also take inputs from you as to how the course is going on, feedback about mentors, etc. is taken, and you can avail counseling sessions for them if at all you're facing any difficulties in completing the course. So this is in snapshot what we do as part of the course delivery. And if at all if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box. So now what I'll do is I will quickly play 2 small videos, which is taken as a snapshot of the C programming module which you deliver. Also, microcontroller module snapshot also taken. We'll place those recordings so you can watch them and see how these courses are delivered in the online mode. Let me share my screen and share the recorded sessions of the actual courses which happen in the online mode.
These are the total memory allocated. Now, after an array has been declared, maybe I want to give the values into the array, because just the array's declaration will have garbage value. Assume I take int array of size 5. Okay, there has to be 20 bytes of memory allocated. Assume this is the 20 bytes of memory allocated for the array. So I'm storing 5 integers. So each integer takes how many bytes? Each integer takes how many bytes? Correct. So each integer takes 4 bytes. So if the starting address of the array is 1000, where will be the next element present? If the starting address of the array is 1000, where will be the next element present? Assume this is 1000. Where will be the next element present? Yes. Each of the element uses 4 bytes. So it is 1004, then 1008, 1012, 1016. To access the array's element, you have to go with something called as the index number. An index number varies between 0 to size -1. So very first element will be in index 0. Second element will be in index 1. Third element will be in index 2. Fourth element will be in index 3. And fifth element will be in index 4. Okay. If you just declare the array like this, the array's element will have garbage value by default. So in order to not have a garbage value present inside the memory block, maybe I want certain values to made sit inside it. In such cases, I have to do the array's initialization. To initialize the array, here inside the curly braces, I have to give 5 elements: 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. In that case, that value will be written here. That will be 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay, this is how I declare the array. This is how I do the initial.
Some of you are mentioning that the screen is not visible. Can you just confirm if the video and audio is clear? I'm playing a recorded video actually. Is everyone facing issue or just few of you not able to view the screen? Can you confirm if the video is playing fine? Okay, some of you are telling it's not okay. Some of you says it's fine. Let me continue to play.
Initialization, and this is how the memory for the array will be allocated. Accessing happens with respect to the index number varying between 0 to size -1. See here, data type, name, size, where size represents the number of elements. So the total memory occupied by the array is number of elements multiplied by size of an element. That is in turn size into size of the data type. If this is the array I'm going to take of 5 size with the values 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, this will be the array. So the very starting address of the array always is called as the base address of the array. This address 1000 will always be called as the base address of the array. Or you can also call it as starting address or address of the very first element of the array. All of them means the same, but we usually refer it as base address. Okay, you can call it as base address, or you can call it as the starting address, or you also can call it as the address of first element. Okay, the starting address is called as the base address or starting address or address of the first element of the array. So then it is plus 4 plus 8 plus 12 plus 16. Index has to vary between 0 to size minus 1. So it has to be starting from 0. An array is a collection of similar data type. Elements occupy consecutive memory locations. First element will be in the lowest address and last element will be in the highest address. Elements are indexed from 0 to size minus 1. So if the size of the array is 5, index will vary from 0 to 4. Accessing out of the range array elements would be an illegal access. So whenever you have to access the elements of the array, you have to go with the name of the array, then the index number. Okay. So array of 0, array of 1, like this, you have to go with the index number. So if the index number varies between 0 to 4, I can access only between array of 0 to array of 4. Out of the boundary, that is accessing array of minus 1 or accessing array of 5 is not allowed. It is an illegal access where you might get to see a error. So accessing out of the range array elements would be illegal access. You should not access the elements in array of minus 1 and array of size. And once the memory for the array is allocated, it can never be altered in the runtime. That is, while executing the program, the array size can never be modified. So if you declare an array like this, it will be 20 bytes of memory allocated for sure. So this size can never be altered throughout the program. Again, here in double denom of size 6, there will be 48 continuous bytes already allocated. You never get a chance to increase or decrease the size once it has been allocated. So this is the concept of array. Clear this much? Okay. So have this one noted. The next we will see is how to print the elements of the array. Okay. So there are different ways of printing the array's element, which we will be seeing shortly. Before that, have this one noted. So the next we have got is to print the array's element. So when you are supposed to print the array's element, we usually go with the name of the array and the index number. But that has to be done on a repetitive manner. So what is it necessary to be used? What is it necessary to be used if I have to print? Yes, loop is definitely necessary. So I can print the array's element in any of a loop considered. Observe. Okay. So first I try printing it in a for loop. Int array of size 5. I also do the initialization with 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. I need another integer variable I for the sake of index. So I will first say it as printf arrays elements are. Okay. So I run a for loop for I is equal to 0, I less than 5 and I plus plus, because 5 is the size of the array. Inside this, I go with the printf. Sorry. Yeah, so printf %d \n comma array's name with index. Okay, so first array of 0 will be printed when I will have a 0 taken, then array of 1, then array of 2, array of 3, array of 4. When I becomes 5, 5 lesser than 5 will be condition false. You come out of the for loop. Observe the output here. So I'm compiling and executing. These are the arrays element which I am printing using a for loop.
All right, so that was a very short demo of a topic arrays, one-dimensional arrays, which typically is covered in the beginning of the C module after a few days. So just wanted to like showcase how the online classes are delivered, right? It is going to be as effective as offline classes also. And when you're like sitting at home attending these sessions, we'll also give you time to complete the programs and ask doubts as well, right? This was more of a snapshot of a recording. Similarly, the next video game which I'm going to show is microcontroller module. So here many people have questions as to how microcontroller programming can be done when they attend the online sessions. Yes, in an offline session, you can use the hardware and access the board, etc. In an online session, we'll be providing you a simulator called as Pixing Lab. And here is a quick demo of how the microcontroller modules are delivered and how you can run the program using the simulator, which is freely available. So effectively, the learning outcome will be similar as you're going to use the simulator to complete the assignments and projects in the microcontroller module. Let me share a quick video. You can have a look at it.
This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. In today's class, let's see how we can write the embedded program to toggle the LEDs connected to the board bit. So now to write the embedded program, we are going to use the tool MPLAB XID. So you can see here. So this is the MPLAB XID. If you open this, you will see this as a starting page. So some projects are mentioned here, data sheet is available here. Even if you worked on some recent project, that list is available. See, and even you will get the microchip login. So if you have a login ID password, you do the login, and you can do the purchase on a microchip website, right? Okay, so now let me go back to the question. So question was, we wanted to toggle the LEDs connected to the port D. So now here in this MPLAB ID, you can see these are the different tools available. So we can use these tools as per the requirement. For example, this is to create a new file. It's to create a new project. It is to open the project. This option is to do the build. You can see different many options are there. So as per the need, what we will do, we will take an approach. Whatever we need it, we will start using those things. Now here in this MPLAB XID, I already created a project and kept it ready. So project name is what? LEDs. So in this project, I created. So when this project is created, this MPLAB XID create some organized sections. You can see here. So now to write this program, to write the embedded code, we need a main.c. So generally .c files goes here in the source file sections. Header files goes here, make file will go here, linker script will go to this section. Or if you need any libraries, if you are planning to add any libraries, then those goes into this section. And finally, this is the place for your executable file. So let me go to the main.c. So you can double click and open the main.c in the editor window. So now you can see I'm defining two macros. So instead of using port D directly, so what I did, since if you see the hardware, on the hardware, so you are having total 16 LEDs. So this is the PiximLab simulator board. So it's having total 16 LEDs. So currently we are going to toggle LEDs connected to the port D. These are the these are the 8 LEDs out of 16. So these 8 LED array we are going to toggle. Toggling means on off we are going to do. So now since I'm having 8 LEDs, I'm defining the micro LED array as a port D, and to give the direction to the port pins, there is a register RISD. I'm defining that with name LED array data direction register. Now you can see here comes my main. So here I'm calling init config function. So this function is to do the initialization. So what we are doing, so in main itself, we are not doing initialization. It doesn't look good. So there is a separate dedicated function to do the initialization. It is init config. So control will go here and here in this init config. So initially what we are doing, if we are using LED, we need to set the pin direction as output. So I'm writing my LED array data direction register as a 0. It will set port D pin as the output, and to start with, initially, I will keep all LEDs connected to the port D as a off. So to turn off the LED, I need to load 0. So I'm writing here 0. So LEDs remain off, fine. And here comes our while one. So if you see any embedded system, once you turn on the embedded system, it runs forever, right? It goes into infinite loop. So here comes my infinite loop while one. So inside this while one, we are going to write our application. So what is our application? We wanted to toggle the LED. So here is my instruction to toggle the LED. So I'm writing LED array equal to tilt of LED array. So what it will do? It will toggle the values of this LED array. If it is 0, it will make it 1. If it is 1, it will make it 0. So now you can see. So this is what 0x00. So after execution of this instruction, this LED array value becomes 0xFF. So entire port becomes 0xFF. All port bits become 1. So all LED turn on. LEDs are going to be turned on. And here what I'm doing. So before going to this instruction once again, I'm putting the delay. So if this delay is not there, what happens? We will not be able to see the LED toggling. So it will happen at very fast rate. Due to the persistence of vision, we will not be able to capture it. So I added the delay. Then after this delay, what happened? Next time, since we are in the while one, control will go back here. So again, we are changing the LED array value from what? FF to 0. So now what happened? LED become off, then again delay. So like this way, we are making LEDs on, LEDs off. Fine. Now, so we have to build the code. We have to compile the code. How we can do? So here in this mplab.xid, I install x8 compiler. So that's why this header file is also included related to the compiler. So now how you can do the build? So you can see here is one option to do the build. So let me click on that. It will start doing build. My project is getting a build. Now you can see build is going on. So it will take some time. Please wait. Now see, build is successful. That means your hex file is created, and even it will give you the memory summary of your project. So now my hex file is created and it is loaded also. Now what we can do? So we can load that hex file where in this board. So we can run that hex file here in this microcontroller. So this is the heart of this board. So basically here we are using PIC16F877A microcontroller. So we are going to load the hex file here. How? So you can go to the file, you can select the load hex, and you have to navigate wherever your project is stored. So let me navigate. So now, just for the sake of simplicity, I kept the project on the desktop. So let me select that. Now again, you have to go to the distribute directory. So basically, you have to use this path. After build successful, it is prompting the path where X file is available. I'm just referring that. Then you have to go to the default production. Here is the X file. Let me open. Okay, expected output is what? These LEDs should toggle, but it's not happening. Why? Because these DIP switch related settings are not done. So to turn on the LEDs connected to the port D, this DIP switch, second one, you have to pull this switch up. So let me do that. So it's down. You have to pull it up. So let me select. Now you can see the change here. So what this program is doing, it's running in this microcontroller and it is toggling the LEDs. And even we are able to see that toggling very clearly, right? Okay, so this is our program, our embedded code to toggle the LEDs connected to the port D. Fine.
All right, I think that is a very quick demo of how a simple program like blinking LED can be written using an ID like MPLABX ID, and we're able to compile the code, and the compiled code we're able to run it on a simulator. So we're using a simulator called PixSimLab, which is free and open source, which you can download and run the microcontroller-based programs. As you can see on this board, there are multiple peripherals available. Like you can write any kind of program and run on it seamlessly without any issues as such.
Hello, Mubeen.
Yeah. I hope I'm audible, Jay.
Mubeen, looks like you're not audible. Can you check?
Is it? Okay. So I just complete the video. Maybe you can take over, Jay. I'm not sure. Any audio issues? Let me unshare my screen. Yeah. Am I audible now? All right. You have any questions, any queries related to what we discussed so far? Yeah, you can ask. Am I audible now? Looks like there's an issue with my audio. I'm not sure, or it's internet. Maybe you can proceed, Jay. I'm done with the demo session. Can you proceed and take up the session?
Hello, everyone. Pave Vishwanath.
Mubeen, are you speaking something? I'm not able to hear you.
No, I'm
Guys,
not.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, you can. I can hear you now. Can you proceed? Can you continue?
Guys, am I audible? Are you able to hear me okay? Hello? Okay. I think it's breaking. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Maybe today the network seems to be quite bad. When Mubeen is not able to basically talk.
You're audible, Jay. You can continue.
Or he's talking, it is not audible to all of us. I don't know, some technical glitch from the tool side. Okay. Really sorry about that. I don't know why it is happening today. Generally, it is Akash, request don't judge us like that. He's asking, you can't deliver demo session clearly. How can we expect the online session to be very, very helpful, right? This is definitely a technical glitch we are facing. Kindly request to be patient for some time. We're trying to figure it out. I don't know. This generally doesn't happen. Okay, Mubeen is telling me to continue. I don't know. I'm not able to hear him either. Okay, so let him continue. Hope you're able to audible to all of you. Okay, TK, I'll proceed now. So sorry guys, there is some technical glitch. I don't know why it is happening today. Generally, it works okay. Today has been really troubling all of us. Okay. Okay, there are some questions here. Let me answer them one by one. Hardik is asking, as an electrical engineering background, this will be new for me, coding embedded systems. My doubt is by joining this course, all coding embedded systems, C++, basic will taught us far from intermediate. So any topic that we teach Hardik throughout the course, it will be from the scratch. We don't assume any previous knowledge with any of our participants. So that way you don't need to worry, because majority of our audiences are from similar background like yours. So I don't think you will face any issue because of that. Okay? Any topic you say, it starts from level 0. So fee structure, basically, I wait for some more time. In the subsequent slide, I have the contact details of our counseling team. You can get in touch with them. They will be able to help you with respect to the fee information. So the course duration is basically 6 months. Lavish. Okay. So how many people in an online batch? It depends on the batch, Mohammed, but in general, whether it's online or offline, we try to keep this batch size around 40. In maximum, we go around 45. In worst cases, we stretch up to another 1 or 2 people. Okay. So because beyond that, if you stretch, it becomes very hard to maintain the mentor and the student ratio. So we like to keep it around that mark only. Okay. Okay, Mohammed. Then, yeah, so Atif is asking, having zero knowledge in programming, able to discuss. Yes, I already said, you don't need to worry about that. Is the online is as effective as offline tools? Yes, but unfortunately today it's troubling. Okay, as I said, don't judge us by that. we've been doing the online courses for the past, 5+ years. It's been working very well. Okay. There is a question from, what will be the course details? What will be covered in 6 months? Asked by AS. AS, I think Mubeen has answered your questions. The modules that we'll be doing, right? Right from the Linux systems to microcontrollers to Linux internals, C++ programming and everything. So that's what is the set of modules as a part of the 6 months program that we have. Right? And then there's a question from Alagu Selvam. Why not ARM-based microcontroller, which is most used in embedded system? That's again a good question. We also often get into this particular discussion in our university also. So what we found was, even though I agree with whatever you are saying, when it comes to a learning, as a learning platform, and also the kind of opportunity to build innovative projects, right? So still, PIC microcontroller are quite good, and also what companies also telling is like more than bother about a particular hardware, they're really more bothered about the foundational knowledge, right? So we don't get into more board centric or getting into an ARM-based controller. So whatever we have, it works quite well with the placement companies also. Okay, so that's the answer. Alago. May I know any time period or a particular month when these premium companies visit for recruitment? There's no time period as a Sauravnath, because if you see our recruitment companies, they come to us on a demand basis. So, for example, if you look at a typical campus recruitment, right, which works based most on a projection basis, because they come towards the third year end, so with the projection for the next 1 year, right? That's how those companies work. But whatever the companies, they come to us for recruitment, basically they come for a project which is already running. Okay? So which means that the demand is always a kind of a asynchronous sequence. We can never say, for example, this particular company will come this month. In fact, not only you, even our existing student asked me this question: sir, can you publish a calendar of the companies? So what we target is, whatever the numbers that we showed in the initial graph, that's the kind of numbers that we are getting. In that, the premium companies, mid-sized companies, startups, right? They all come in a mixed format. So that way, there is no formula. If you ask me, for example, in March, did we have premium companies coming in? Yes. Right? Or can you guarantee that same company will come in April? The answer may, don't. Because as I said, it's on a demand basis. But overall, if you look at a distribution perspective, it looks pretty much the same. Around 15 to 20% of the companies are premium companies. Remaining 60 to 70 are mid-sized companies, and remaining 10 to 15% are startups. So that distribution remains the same. Okay. Hope that clarifies Sauravnath. Then we have, I think that's the question, right, Sauravnath? So you are talking about a completed MTech from NIT Calicut, core engineering domain, want to shift to embedded systems. Most of the packages are 4 LPA. Current package is more than that, right? That's what I'm saying, right? It depends on the company, but as long as you build a skill set, then you should be able to achieve the, whatever the premium package you're talking about. The differentiator is the skill set. Vinay is asking, is assembly level programs also important? To some extent, yes, but largely no, because the companies who are recruiting from us primarily look for the C and then C++ programming languages. So I don't see anybody using assembly off late. Maybe some of the bare metal or some of the lower programming assembly could be used, but largely it is C and C++. Yeah, I think, yeah. Right. Okay, let me come down, see any other questions are there. All right. I'm passed out to 2017 ECE and short worked in a Python-based company, but I'm targeting core company for embedded. Can I have placement in core company? Yes, that's correct, Hardik. Whatever the some of the success stories which I showed from our social media, they're all, from the older batches. I think today I showed some 2019 passouts who actually come from a similar background of yours, but they're able to make a transition. So I don't think, the era passout or even if you have a career break, I don't think, it will make a major impact. As I said, from the beginning, I think pretty much all the questions will lead to one answer. Focus on the skill building, these things will be automatically taken care. Okay. So how much will be the contribution of C++ language for 6 months? See, C++ language, if you ask me, it's relatively shorter module because C is where our larger focus is. Because, the C programming is what we cover in depth. Having said that, off late we are seeing companies are focusing on C++, especially the object-oriented programming and all. So that way the module duration kept relatively short. I think it's a 2 weeks program where we'll be focusing on the object-oriented part of it. Whereas C programming we cover for almost 1.5 or even somewhere close to 2 months. Right? That's a relatively a longer module. Okay. Can we attend placements only at the end of 6 months? How much can we attend? Anisha is asking. See, you can start attending the placements after the 4th month. Once you clear your placement eligibility test and complete the data structures module, you can start applying there after the 4th month. And once you complete the course, you'll be able to apply for placement for 2 years. So that's a commitment we give to our students. Okay. Lokesh is asking, I'm working profession, my notice period will be a problem. Okay. No, not necessarily. As we're seeing many cases, when the working professional, they wanted to basically, come to another company, definitely there'll be a expectation from his current company to serve as notice period. And when our recruitment companies also, even though I said they have asked you to join immediately, that is largely for a fresher or who are available to join. Your working professional, they understand, and they also want you to serve a notice period with your current company, and then only they want you to come and join. So that way, you'll be able to definitely serve your notice period, get the relieving letter from a current employer, and then join our placement company. No issues with that. Basically, Aishwarya is asking, I'm from mechanical engineering background. Will the trainers teach us the basics of from embedded system? Yes, any branch people will be able to learn. Okay. So do we get experience on doors or hardware layers? I'm not sure what your question is, Akash, right? I'm not very clear. If you can describe it a little bit more, I'll be able to answer it better. What about the embedded automotive opportunities? Ashwini is asking. So if you ask me, embedded as a broader industry, it has got various verticals where automotive is one of them. Automotive, IoT, and telecommunication and networking. Then we have robotics. Then we have the traditional semiconductor companies. So they're all different verticals. But definitely the automotive is one of the bigger verticals where larger number of companies are recruiting. For example, companies which are working on the automated driver assistance systems, right? Infotainment systems. These kind of, if you look at today, any car, it is having more electronics, right? Or more electronics is coming inside any, I'm not talking about EV, even a traditional automotive has got a lot of electronics in it. From that perspective, yes, a lot of automotive companies are hiring. In fact, it used to be even better. What I'm talking about is like, even companies like Robert Bosch, Continental, right, Vitesco, these companies to hire. But due to the current situation, those companies are not hiring, but still a lot of automotive companies are hiring. If you specifically want to check automotive companies, you can check our placement website that we listed all the companies. You can check there, in the website and then figure it out how many of them are automotive. But yeah, a good chunk of them are automotive. Alvin. Do embedded tools included in the course? Yes, Manjusha, because if you look at tools as such, if you see, we largely use the open source tools. And when you say open source, you don't need to, basically pay any license. It's licensed under the general public license, so you don't need to bother much. You can very well, feel free to use, modify whatever you want. And there are also relatively lightweight software. You don't need to have a very high-end PC configuration or something like that. So considering all these things, right? Definitely, you'll be getting hands into good number of tools, which is used in the embedded system development. Right. Date of the course, when says Raymond, wait for some time, Raymond. I'll show you the course dates, in few slides down the line. Okay. You can say that, right? Yeah. Santosh Kumar, I think similar question I already answered. Okay. Fee structure also I answered. Just wait for some time, right? All right. Okay. I think fairly I have asked all the questions. In case you feel I have not answered any, you can just put it once again. I will check. Let me go down. Okay. So Alvin is asking prerequisite we should focus on. No prerequisite, Alvin. You can, as I mentioned multiple times, every module start from level 0. So you'll be able to pick it up from there. Okay. You don't need to, rather I say you don't need to study and come here and study, right? So then we have Santosh asks, I'm currently working manufacturing. How can I get into embedded whatever? So how can I get problem solving skills within the simulated field, right? So Santosh, actually, we had in the past people who are similar to your background, and also the current set of students we teach, they also have a lot of challenges in terms of gaining the problem solving skills, right? Because when you are wanting to build a complex piece of embedded software, you need to be really good in programming, coding, problem solving, debugging, optimization, and things like that, right? So 2 points to answer your question. One is, as I've been telling from the beginning, every subject will be start from the scratch, point number 1. Second thing is, we have a wonderful team of mentors who are ready to support you. So my request to you is, like, considering your background, if you are perceiving that it could be difficult for you, I would suggest do more practice in the lab, or even the classes and labs that get over in our place, right? Or even if you're taking online, beyond that, you can also spend at least 2 to 3 hours a day practicing. So I would say practice is the only way to get out of all the fears, because the more we practice, the more problems you are going to solve, the more confident you are going to become. So that's what I would say. Apart from that, from our perspective, we do whatever we have been doing over the years, and we have seen students from similar background as yours. Okay, so no problem. Practice is the key here. So Abdul is asking, his embedded system is tough. So how do I answer that? That's an interesting question, right? It depends on how you look into it, Abdul. It depends on like how people, if you're really passionate about having a career in this particular domain, that to a long-term career, definitely it will not be tough. And even if it's tough, I would say practice will make it easier for you. So hope I answered your question. Because tough or easy, it depends on person to person. Whatever appears tough to me might appear easy to you and vice versa, right? So I don't want to give a deterministic answer. I'm giving some inputs. It's up to you to figure it out. In future, demand for VLSI will be more or embedded systems. I think I already showed the graph. If you remember in the beginning, we still see, even though yes, chip technologies are improving, even the distributor, or what I said, the edge computing moving into the what you call the processors, right? So where the entire processing or the hardware is getting into higher horsepower. That's where the VLSI chipsets are coming in. Or I would say a lot of VLSI companies got a new life ever since the AI come into it, right? But having said that, today the larger amount of the intelligence or smartness that is largely driven by the software. So that way, definitely you will be able to have a very good demand for software also. Okay. Course starts, I already said. Okay. Then Sauranath is asking, is there any policy like one job offer in Emertxe, or can I crack multiple jobs in Emertxe if I have skills? See, we have only one job policy, Saurav. Okay. Whatever the job comes, the first job you need to take. At the same time, we don't force you that we need to apply for all the companies, right? Whatever you apply, you can apply. Whichever comes first, you need to take it. Okay. Abdul, I think I already answered. Okay. So Alaga Selvam is asking, if program works with big simulator, the same program will work on real board. Yes, we need to change a minor configuration in terms of the ports. Apart from that, whatever the assignments and projects or experiment work in the board, will work in the simulator and vice versa. So Lavanya asking, place in one company and attend another company is also possible. I think I answered this question. So what is the process after demo sessions? See, after demo sessions, after you, as I said, our idea is to share the information. So depending on the information that is shared and depending on your interest, you can take the further steps. If you're interested and keen, you can talk to your counselors and consider joining our course. Right? Or if you want to wait and explore alternatives, you can do that. Choice is yours. Our idea is to give you the right set of information and let you take the decision. Do you guys go till driver's level code? No, we don't do that, Lokesh, because we used to have device drivers module sometime back in our embedded systems course, but off late we have removed it and replaced with more of a QT module, that is for the offline people, right? For online students, we don't have that QT because that even elongates the course, right? So we don't get into the device drivers level, but apart from that, what are the Linux internals and the Linux systems and commands? Learning that should be good enough for you to get into any entry level company, okay, wherever these placement companies are hiring, right? Okay. I think fairly I cleared everything. Let me see anything new has come. Okay. So offline courses are started and from what time to what time, sir? It depends. See, our classes in the offline starts as early as 7:30 in the morning and it goes till as late as like 6:30. So you will be given a slot, a 4-hour slot, that entire 12-hour of slot what we work on. Okay. So that is our batch timings. So AS is asking, can you withdraw the admission in between? Will you get some refund, right? So if you wanted to see, honestly speaking, we don't want anybody to withdraw. We want anybody to come study, build their skills and get into the job. But in case some unforeseen circumstances or any other challenges that you face, if you are withdrawing, you can do so. But from our side, there won't be any fee refund. So how can we learn Linux? I'm having a Windows OS. No issues, Vinay. In the beginning itself, beginning of the course itself, in fact, the first installation session, will be an installation session where we help you to install Linux in your computer. So subsequently, you can use the same Linux for your learning purpose. Okay. So what will be the chance of getting higher packages like 6 LP or above? Okay. So it depends on you, Lokesh. Actually, if you are building a strong skill set, for example, if you're working on more number of projects, right, being sincere to the classes, attending all the assignments and projects, then your probability of getting a 6 LPA is very high. I would say very high. At the same time, if you're not doing it but still expect the results, then it won't be fruitful. Okay. Deepti is asking how many of the classes we'll be having per week. It's not a per week, Deepti, it's a per day. I would say you can, as I already said, it's around 4 hours. I'm in 4th sem EC, my current CGPA is 5.0, how to get placement in college. So Ashish, I will not be able to recommend how to get placement inside the college because, as I said, we deal with placements happening in the off-campus or outside the, campus, right? So I may not be able to comment on that. Okay? You know your campus better than me. Saurav is asking, sir, if one job offer policy exists, then if we are forced to sit with a lower package company, let's say 5 LPA, and then we might miss a better opportunity of 12 LPA in future. See, that's what I already told you. We are not going to force you. Okay? Companies will keep on coming in particular order, right? And the salary, everything will be told to you. Nobody is going to force you. It is your choice. Right? Suppose you say, I'm not okay with 5 LPA. I don't want to apply. Don't apply. We're not going to force you. But if you get a job, join them. The reason why I'm telling Saurav, you may be asking why you don't allow, I think you are a NAT Calicut student, right? I'm an NAT Warangal. I graduated in BTech, right? So we can relate what you're asking, right? Here, the context is very different. It's not like how it works in the campus placement. I told you already, right? The point is something like this, right? So like since they're coming for a project which is already running, or let me go back, let me take a step back and explain it. So a company comes to campus and recruits in the end of 3rd year, right? So what they do is, whatever the number of openings they have, let us say they have 10 openings, typically they make more offers in the campus because they know by the time people come to final year, they may get some other offer, right? Or they may go for higher studies, right? So they may have some buffer because there's also one year time, right? People may change their minds or whatever. But companies are coming to us. They're coming to us because they're already running a project and they want a guy to join immediately. Except the working professional case where they need to give a notice, right? So here, what we want to give to the clients who are hiring from us is a predictability and the trust. So, for example, if they hire 10 students from Emertxe, we want to ensure that all 10 of them join. Because if that is, they make 10 offers, only 2 of them join, right? Okay. It puts the client in a spot because they are already having a running project. This is one part, right? Second part is, as an organization, we have some philosophy. And we are not a NIT or IIT for that matter, where any student, we say, it's like, what do you say, survival of the fittest. Right? Whomever is capable, you get more offer. Whomever is not so capable, don't get any offer, right? In fact, we don't believe in the word capability. We build capabilities, right? So what we say is, like, I don't want a scenario where, let us say, Saurabh, you're a smart kid, you get 3 jobs. And I have another student who's struggling to get a 1 job also, right? We don't want to have a scenario. So what happens is when you stop with 1 job, the opportunity gets passed to the other student. That way, everybody goes with 1 job. So these are all the reasons why we, work with this 1 job policy, and it is working out wonderfully well over the years. There is a fairness from the student side also, and the fairness from the company side also. I think Manjusha is also asking the same thing. What will be the class timing in the evening for online batch? It will be from 6 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. or 7 p.m. will be the lab, and 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. will be the class. Okay, fee structure I mentioned. Okay, we are confusions on how much fee for the offline course. See, fee related point, as I already told you, right? Our counseling team will be able to answer you, right? I'll share the contact details. You can get in touch with. Multiple company placements, I already clarified. As a working professional, how can I be able to cope up with the curriculum, sir? Because I have only time after 6. I understand. Yeah, I think that we leave the choice to you. Because there is also, you are having aspiration and you are having workshop. How you manage your time, it's up to you. But for us, this is a fixed time that we deliver our courses. In 6 months, in case we are not placed in any companies, what do you do, sir? So you need to build on your skills, keep on applying, right? Right. As I said, we give placement support for 2 years from the time of you get completing the course, right? So you can keep on applying. Okay. Amal is asking, can you please brief about the Linux topics on the board? To which extent and how deep the topic will be taught? Okay. So Linux, basically, Amal, it is taught at 3 levels. The first level, what you call Linux systems, where we'll be teaching the Linux commands, right? Or setting up Linux as a development environment, or some basics about, some of the, understanding of automation and things like that, right? That's what we do in the first Linux systems, right? Then we teach what you call Linux internals. So in Linux internals, we teach more about Linux kernel design, architecture, Linux system calls, and how to use Linux system calls and write multitasking programs, multi-threading programs, right? TCP/IP socket programming, right? So this is, and then, basics about RTOS. We don't teach RTOS because Linux is not an RTOS, but some principles of RTOS, memory management, and task management. This is what we cover in the Linux internals module. Right? Then we have another module called Embedded Linux on ARM, where, that course will focus on how you can, basically, the application that you have, how do you port it in the ARM-based board? For example, you have a Linux application written in desktop. How do you take it and port in a board, right? An ARM-based board. In order to do that, basically, you need to customize the Linux kernel, right? And then make the application port into the new board and things like that, right? That's what you teach. You can get into our website and then check out the page, right? We put up all the module details, all the, course, the syllabus, what will be taught. Everything is available in our website. You can check. Or even if you have questions, you can talk to a counselor. They'll be able to share you more information. Okay, so can you tell again, after demo session, what? After demo session, I said, right, unit, it is your choice, right? It's a more of an awareness program. We give you the necessary information. Then it's up to you what you want to decide. Can you say job opportunities embedded with less complicated coding? Ashish, we're not able to bucketize which is complicated, which is easy. I think somebody asked it is a tough or easy, right? Okay, it depends on the individual. What you wanted to do. But definitely the job that we are targeting, the embedded software job, it definitely involves coding. So can we convert our present experience after this course and place with a better package? Yes, I already showed you, the working professionals have done that. Some companies do value our previous experiences. Right? Then we have Sai Suraj. I'm 2022 pass out from BTech EC and having a career graph. Can I expect a good placement? Yes, as I already told you, definitely, I don't see any issue here. When is the best time to join Emertxe? You are in 4th set. Okay. Ashish is asked for the campus question, right? Now he's come to a course question. Again, choice is yours, Ashish. You can do it at any point in time. Okay. What are the companies come for placement? AS is asking. So please go on and check out our social media. I already showed our Instagram page. You can go to our website, where even we publish the dates also, which company came, what time, everything is published. You can check that. Shivani is asking, as I saw the demo of the array, ma'am did not taught it that well. Can we ask her to make some changes? See, Shivani, this is a recorded video. Okay, whatever we showed you, it is not a live one, right? Because we want to do a demo, we just played that, played that recorded video. If you feel that, okay, there are some doubts, okay, if you have some doubts or if you have some questions, you can interact with the mentor like how you are interacting with me. Okay. So every class is a live class. Okay, that's how you can clarify your doubts. Okay. So is there any free internships from Emertxe Campus Ambassador? Yes, we do keep offering different internship programs, technical internships, also a Campus Ambassador program for people who are interested in a non-technical domain. That's more we do inside the college, but kindly note these programs doesn't come with any placement support. You can go again, Campus Ambassador, there's a website that is in the website, there's a page. You can check out the dates and you can apply for that program also. Okay. So RK is asking, in embedded system domain, focus more on C or C++ from the industry point of view. Again, the good question. See, I would say based on my experience initially when I was, as a developer and all, C was pretty much the number one. But offline, when I talk to placement companies, I see a lot of companies have migrated to C++ due to many reasons. So, but still what I see is like, even if you go to C++, the concepts that you're learning in C is very, very important. So I would say you learn C in depth and have a C++, some kind of a, intermediate level. That should be good enough. That's what we try to do in our course also, to strike a balance between C and C++. Because if you make C++ also very detailed, you pull the course duration even more. I think somebody asked, what is duration of the C++ module? I said 2 weeks. It's mainly to give you that particular additional edge towards a module. Okay. What about finally internships? Internship opportunity available with project? Yes, basically, the same course, the 6 months course can be, so we are structuring for 20-25 students to give it as an internship. Again, you can get in touch with our, counseling team. They will be able to share more details. So if you get placement after 4th month, how do we complete the rest of the course? With Matthews, that's a good question. See, if any students get placed, once they join, right, whatever the pending modules are there, they can come to the online evening course and then they can complete. Okay. We give that facility for all the students. Hybrid mode available? No, Artif, because we tried, but that did not work out. Okay, so either we are offline or we do online. Ashish is asking, his Qualcomm company offers work from home jobs. Come on, yeah, which world we are living in, right? Okay, every company is asking people to come to work from office only. Okay. All right, I think Akash is asking, is in future this may upgrade to Python as well, right? So will C++ or C will be that useful? See Python, even though it's there, right? But still, when it comes to the machine optimization, etc., nothing can beat C. So C will remain for sure. Maybe some portion of C may be taken over by C++, right? But Python, I don't think embedded make that big a dent because Python programs relatively consume more resources, and embedded systems are resource-constrained environment. So I don't think you should be too much worried about programming language. Whatever suits to the projects, company will go for it. But my request is tomorrow anything may change, but the fundamentals that you learn in C programming and to some extent with C++ programming will definitely come in handy for your long career in embedded systems. Sir, as we know, the future scenario semiconductor, take care and on top. So we can place in core or should we try in IT? Shivani. It depends on you, Shivani. Okay, what is your interest are? See, every industry has got its own plus or minus. But if you look at this industry, which specifically I'm talking about semiconductor devices, I showed some evidences in the beginning itself that it is looking very promising in India because manufacturing is coming in, design is coming in, right? And more companies want to do the entire product development in India. And it is not something which can be replaced by ChatGPT or by a Gen AI solution, right? Nobody can replace the embedded system developer job. So that way it looks very promising. Okay. All right. I think this is, as I said in the beginning, this questions is what makes the webinar so interesting. So I have few more slides, then we will conclude the session. Okay. In the meantime, please keep typing the questions, right? Let me share my screen. All right. So we discussed a lot so far, a lot of questions, right? Just to give a perspective, this is how the placement works. I think we already discussed. Once you join Emertxe, the students will get a Google Group access, and then you can check and apply online. Once you clear your placement eligibility, then our team will do internal filtering and share your profile with the external company, and then there will be still written tests and interviews. Then offer release will happen, and then onboarding happens. This is how the process. We discussed the various permutation combinations here. Okay. And let me just quickly show you the placement Google Group so that you get a perspective. Let me unshare my screen for a minute. All right. You can see here, this is I shared a Gmail ID link here. So this is basically the, what do you call the kind of, our Google group, right? Where you can see, the companies that are coming in and, you can see a lot of the other things like placements, meeting, etc., right? You can see them, right? Okay, you can see the data here. Or, even if you wanted to go to it, so to groups.google.com, that will give much more clear perspective. Yeah, this I guess, because sometimes some emails don't reach my mailbox. You can see here. This will give a complete picture of what all the companies coming in. Right. See here. So in every company, for example, when you get in, right, it depends on the company. All the details, as I mentioned, will be shared to you. For example, one premium company, since people wanted, I can show one example here. Chelsea Communication, which is currently hiring our students. You can see here. So what is the company is doing, and which are all the batches can apply, right? And what is the salary range? Is there any bond is there or not, right? What do you mean by the work locations? If you saw it, the application got over about 10 days back, right? Things like that. So like this, every information will be made transparent to you in the Google group itself. So this is where, as I was mentioning some time back, you can decide to apply for a company or not apply for a company. I think this also we discussed how long you'll get placement support, choosing multiple job offers, being all companies are not, what companies are hiring, year gap, notice period, right? Everything we're done. So another part is basically Emertxe is a affiliated institution with the National Skill Development Corporation or NSDC, where our courses are aligned with them, and then our courses, after students complete the course, they can apply for the certification with the NSDC, and then they can get the certificate. Let me just show you an example certificate, which was obtained by students some time back. Let me share my screen here. So we are aligned at level 5, the course that we are talking about, both the embedded and the our IoT course. You can see the screen. So this is the level 5 certification course. So once you clear it, there will be a process for that. The panel from ESSE, that is Electronic Skill Sector Council of India, will come evaluate you, and depending on you clearing, you will get the certificate. Of course, we are almost 100% pass rate. Once in here and there could be some failures, but mostly I would say 99% of students, 99.9% students will clear the certification exam. Of course, apart from that, we also give certification from Emertxe as well. People are asking about the course date. It's already published, but still I'll show once again. It's in the website. So 27th of March, we are starting an online regular or online day batch. 27th March, we're starting an offline batch. Always 2nd of April, we are doing an online evening batch. So these are all the course dates. You can check out our website. And that is a common email ID and phone number of our counseling team, training@emertxe.com, and 809-557-6332 is our counseling team's number. So definitely you can get in touch with them about anything, basically about your fees, about your dates, etc. So they'll be more than happy to clarify your queries. Okay. And these are all our coordinates. If you're in Bangalore, people know MG Road. We have 2 studying facilities here, and near the main MG Road metro station, and we are active in LinkedIn and Instagram. You can look up to us. These are QR codes. You can mark us and like us in these social media handles. Okay. Let me check if any other questions are there. Okay. Then we have, if I join course in online, can you teach from the basics? See, I think I already clarified everything we teach from the basic. Whether it's online or offline, doesn't matter. Any module we start from the basics only. Then you have Bhargav, I mean the final year of EC branch, will you provide internships for the whole 6 months course? We can work it out, Bhargav. If we're talking to a lot of colleges, I think VTU has basically, mandated this internship for 4 months and 6 months. So please get in touch with the counseling team. They'll be able to further guide you on this. I think fairly we answered all the questions. Yeah. So I'm from Maharashtra, so won't be able to attend offline. I don't know Maharashtra, which place you are from, Shivani. We have a lot of students coming from Maharashtra. In fact, we last 2 days back, I met a batch. I think that batch has got a lot of students from Maharashtra. Again, Maharashtra, a very big state. How far it is, so I will not be able to comment on that. It is up to you whether it's offline or online, but offline also students do come. Buldana, okay, I don't know where in the map we can check. Okay. So March 25th regular means timing. Okay, Lavanya is asking March 25th. What is that? March 25th, right? It's an online regular. So regular means the timing will be in the morning, online batch, right? So when I say online regular means the timing can be anywhere around 9:30 to 6:30. Regular online, right? Regular offline means it can be from 7:30 in the morning to 6:30 in the evening. That's the time. So it depends on the mentor availability and the batch, right? So they will come up with the timing and inform. All right. Great. So which is best, online or offline? I would say it's up to you, Ashish. Okay. I would say both the courses will lead to the same destination. It is your choice. Is there any other questions? Any queries? This video is, as I said, it's getting recorded. Really, regret the inconvenience caused in between due to the network issue. This tool, as I said, after that, I think it became all right, right? I don't know when Mubeen logged, there were some issues. Okay. So really, sorry about that. Because as I said, it's not under our control. So as I said, somebody that if a demo class itself is like that, how your course would be, right? So please don't judge us. Yes, if network issue happens, it happens, right? We can't help it, right? We need to wait for some time to think. After all, there will be some technical glitches like this, right? Okay, right. All right. There's a question from Shivani, sir. Can we depend on great place? So we can depend on you for great placements as well as we'll be doing online, and we are able to take efforts for recruited company. Yes, definitely. Okay, definitely, that's what it is. So you do your job, we do our job. Okay. You be regular to our classes, do assignments and projects properly. Automatically, things will happen. So Sumant is asking duration 6 months. At which month I will be eligible? I think Sumant I already answered. Yeah, after the 4th month, right, you will be eligible. Is there any batch starting from the ending of April month for offline? Yes, every month we start batches. Typically in the last week. Whatever I showed you is for the March month. Maybe after the March month admission is over, we'll publish the April month dates. But typically it will be in the last week of every month. What about mock entries, sir? Is it offline and online? Both we do. Okay. Our mock entries are done for both the books. Okay. Shivani is asking, I'm really grateful for the session. Thank you. No problem. Thank you, Shivani. How much CGP I have to maintain? At least 60% or 6, Ashish. Right? At least that would be a minimal requirement, I would say. Can offline mock interview be taken if you join online course? You can come down if you want to take a mock interview. You can come down. If you can come down and take offline, we don't mind. But as I said, no, see, Vinay, it's all people talk. Let me be very honest with you, right? People say, sir, sometime back, people said, sir, we are studying in online. You want to come in the weekend and practice in your lab. Would you allow? We said, no problem, we'll allow. We come. We need to assign some mentors. No, we assign mentors. We are waiting, but nobody turned up. We are ready to support, but students, they ask many things, but when it comes to really doing, right, nobody do that. But if you want to come for mock interview, we'll be glad to host a mock interview in our office also. No. Can we stay in labs to practice more than 4 hours? You can. We do have some space, right? Again, there's some space crunch is happening. Again, we identify some place. Yes, we do give you some opportunities to practice beyond 4 hours. There is some opportunities available to do it in the offline. Yes. So, as I heard, you will be held a scholarship test on 23rd March. I don't think so. Shivani, I think you are getting confused with somebody else, I guess. We don't conduct any scholarship test. Okay. All right. Okay. So, thank you very much, everyone, for thank you for asking so many interesting questions. Right. So, I hope this webinar has clarified all your queries. But if you still, as I got a call regarding Soyas. Shivani, I think you are referring to some other institute, maybe. We don't conduct any scholarship test. Okay. Please check from where you got the call. Okay. We don't have the concept of scholarship test. All right. So thank you very much for all of you for patiently listening in. I hope this session has given you good information. And every course demo webinar, I tell the same statement. Me and Mubeen, we come every month and we do this webinar for the past 3+ years we've been doing. I conclude the silver bullet saying that end of the day, it's your career. So what I have done, I've done my level best. Mubeen has done his level best to clarify things, to give you a perspective. Right? So end of the day, who is a decision maker? It is you. So whatever decision you make, on behalf of Emertxe, I want to wish you all the very best. Okay. So, okay. Okay, Shivani is telling thank you. What is the course fee? RK, I already told you. Please get in touch with counselors. They will be able to help you with the fee related details. All right, guys. So thank you very much for joining. Okay, take care. Okay, see you. Bye.